I've realized that those in government who are bold enough to come out and speak out are coming out to realize that General Museveni can no longer lead the country because of old age. Andrew Mwenda, one of the regime sympathizers, it's not the first time he's coming out to say that General Museveni can no longer lead. In fact, he said these statements.
This time. So everything is the same. And when he says protecting the gains, it shows a lack of imagination, but it also reflects the truth about what he expects. I don't think Museveni has any more vision of the future of Uganda, and therefore clinging and defending and protecting the past, which he has achieved, is what matters to him. So you're asking, what is likely to happen? Remember, Charles, Museveni has aged, and in aging, he's exhausted both physically and intellectually. You can see it fatigue on him, and even when you talk to him, he has gotten tired. As he has gotten tired, and this is why I agree with Robert Kapshinga, new forces have emerged and have consolidated. Some of them criminal syndicates, actually, robbers, looters. You can see what is happening at Uganda Airlines, what is happening even in the private sector. So both State House has been commercialized. People go there, bribe, get blue letters, instructions from him, and they exploit those instructions to go and do many wrong things. So he has reached that point when he's too tired to be fighting multiple battles at multiple fronts. At the age of 81. But also remember, when you're in office for 40 years, your biological depreciation is 2 years per year. So you can add another 20 years. So it's 102 in real terms.
That is Andrew Mwenda. I keep wondering people that it is only hypocrites who are still cheering on General Museveni's rule. They are keen to those who used to cheer on Mugabe at a most critical age when he could no longer lead the nation. And I realized that there are two categories of people who are cheering on the regime. One are those from the family. They don't want the power to go outside their spheres. But also, General Museveni's tenacity of understanding government is reducing. So there are some intra-governments within his government who are free to steal, who are free to not deliver, yet they are still in those positions. Case an example, our Ugandan airline is being taken down, but General Museveni cannot crack a whip. Personally, I think it's because of the old age. He is no longer agile like he used to be. So, by the purpose of this video, I've come to talk about Andrew Mwenda's statements, what it means for our politics, and most importantly, the statements we can learn from the politics of our nation. But before I do this, I want to let you know that if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. If you're watching this video from a different platform, please head on to YouTube, type in Sula Mawagali. There's a lot of content of this nature. If geopolitics and economics is what you want, this will be definitely the right channel for you to subscribe to. First of all, Uganda has a leader in General Kaguta Museveni who has led the country for 40 years. Even if you're in NRM, you should understand that time for General Kaguta Museveni is done. In fact, if I was the member of NRM, I would engineer maybe a transition within NRM if you want to retain power, at least. But now what is happening is the families, they want to engineer power because even the family is stronger than the party. They want to bring his son Moses Kainerugaba. For me, I take Moses Kainerugaba as one of the most incompetent people who want to get to power because of what he tweets and says and his actions. Okay? So as Uganda, we are failing to manage transition. Those in power are trying to engineer succession. Uganda does not need a succession. It needs a transition. In fact, we must build the country, a new constitution, new institution, if you want to deliver the country. But if we mismanage the transition, we may end up as a failed state. Because the values and the pillars upon which General Museveni promised us have not yet been built. Our problem has always been transition. And we are at a juncture where General Museveni now is 82 years. Just look at your parent or grandmother who's 82 years. Now come back and tell me, even my mother who's in late 50s, he has started to get some encumbrances on the way how he handles his work. Naturally, it happens. So Ugandans, as you sleep, you should smell the coffee that we need a transition, or else we shall fall back to a failed state. So Andrew Mwenda coming out to say those statements, and remember, Andrew Mwenda is like a son in the State House. He normally goes there, he meets General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, he meets Museveni. Those ideas are not alien. Those are the same ideas which are in Museveni's family. That's why they're on the forefront of engineering a succession. Okay? So he must be vigilant. So you clearly see that Andrew Mwenda is bringing out that statement. But we must come out to understand what we are supposed to do. Because if we fail to do those things as a country, we are going to fail miserably. Okay? Because Andrew Mwenda also came out to bring out an interesting story of Museveni isolating Buganda. He said these statements.
After the loss of Buganda, Museveni needed to calibrate and win two other, because Museveni has lost Buganda and Busoga, and I think his calculations is he may win a small share of Busoga back, but Buganda is not likely to come back. Now, if you look at Buganda, it has about 5.6 million registered voters in the last election, of whom about 55%, 60% are Baganda. So he has lost those. So Baganda could be about 2.8 million registered voters, followed by Basoga 1.8 million in the last election. If you lose such a huge number, the only compensation you can do is among the Langi, the Acholi, and the Teso, because they are large numbers. So Museveni's strategy has been win over those communities, and Mao is likely to return as vice president. If Buganda does not change its voting pattern, Mao may return as vice president. Then you have the North brought together, because you already have a speaker, a governor of the central bank. For Teso, you can drop the vice president from Teso. And then Museveni still holds the West, and that is the coalition is building. Museveni has now retreated to the Obote political map. To neutralize Buganda, you organize Uganda against Buganda. And that's what Museveni is going to do. If they don't vote for him in this election, he will create a national coalition against Buganda. So we are likely to see Mao emerge as most likely vice president or prime minister. Betty Among will retain her position as speaker, and their job is really to help Museveni run in 2031, 2036, and 2041 when he's 96.
That is Andrew Mwenda. First of all, Museveni, that's how he has done his job. When he had the Uganda support, he was isolating other communities. That's what he normally does. That is politics. And for me, I keep on telling people that even when we are taking on General Museveni, first of all, we must move as the whole nation. One of the issues Bobi Wine has fought with is trying to bring the country together so that we don't look at each other through tribal lenses. Because for a long period of time, they would divide the Baganda against the Basoga against the Bacholi against the Madi, the Langi towards the Acholi. So everyone looks at General Museveni as a savior. You end up not taking on his incompetence because everyone is looking at him as the savior. It's the truth. So the moment we understand how General Museveni does politics, is that day we shall also start understanding how you can transit from him to a new Uganda. Of course, that's one opinion. Remain yours truly, Mr. Makinde. Kavyesula Imani Magal. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe, like, and comment so that I can be motivated to do more of such videos. I'll see you on another one. Peace.